Hello, I'm Brian Tracy and welcome to the Brian Tracy Show. Today you're going to learn what we call the jelly in the jelly donut of business and marketing. One of the most important single factors that literally determines the success or failure of any business, and we have one of the foremost authorities in America here to talk about it, Mr. Richard Seppala. Richard, it's a pleasure to have you on this show.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Now, I have a question for you, Richard. What is it exactly that you do?
You know, Brian, I get that question quite a bit, and I've narrowed it down very simply. We help companies measure the sales and profitability for every marketing dollar they spend to ensure they get the biggest bang for their buck.
Well, how do you do that? How would you go about something like that?
Well, in my opinion, the most important word in any business, ROI. Companies will spend thousands of dollars to bring in revenue, but they don't know their ROI. They don't know what's working. They don't know if it's profitable, if it's costing them money, if they're losing business. So the ROI guy in our tracking system will educate business owners on return on investment, what's working, what's not, what's profitable. And the things that we can measure, they can continue to do and make that much more money.
So your program is called the ROI Guy, and they call you the ROI Guy as well. Is that right?
That's correct, yes.
Well, that's the most important thing. You know, I just did a study on this, and I came up with this phrase, cost of acquisition. And you know that every business is in the business from dawn till dusk of buying customers. And the successful businesses are those who buy customers below the profitability that they get from the customers, and the other businesses go out of business.
Right.
And people don't realize that. Your job is to buy customers. All day long, everything you do is buying customers. The only question is, how good are you at buying customers? And what's the cost of acquisition? And that's what you do.
And we do that for companies all over the country. You know, they come to us and say, Richard, help me. Show me the money. We're spending money in marketing. We're spending money in advertising. Help me kind of refine that, because a lot of companies, if they don't know, they may eliminate a very successful marketing campaign because they just don't know.
Absolutely.
And we can give them the tools and the ammunition to really not only just cut their marketing budgets, but focus on the things that are working and are profitable to make that much more return.
And you have to track it. You have to track how much is it costing me to acquire each customer, and how much do they spend, and how much do they earn, and so on. Isn't that correct?
Absolutely correct. And it doesn't end there, because a lot of people will say, you know what, we got 20 leads from this marketing campaign. But it doesn't end there. Is one of the most valuable lessons that we've learned, and we help our clients, is how much money did you make from those 20 leads? Not just you got 20 leads. Are you converting those leads into dollars to make your bottom line that much greater?
Absolutely. This is so important. I've been focused on this for 20 years. Now, tell me, how did you get into this area in the first place?
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting question. I'm a family guy, and I have 4 beautiful boys, all under the age of 6. And early on in my career, I became the corporate marketing director for the largest senior living provider, which meant I had a tremendous amount of travel. And I'd never realized the effect that had on my firstborn son. Long story short, he became ill because I traveled so much. And one day I was in the emergency room, looked at the surgeon, looked at my son, walked outside, called my boss, said I quit. So I was sitting there in the emergency room trying to determine what it is I'm going to do that I can be at home, I can take care of my family, and I can still be successful. And it hit me, kind of like one of those aha moments. I travel around the country helping, at the time, my company determine what their ROI is. So I said, if I can do this for companies all over the country, I can work from home, take care of my kids, and be successful all at the same time.
Wonderful. Now tell me, what makes your approach unique or different from that of anybody else?
You know, tracking, as you said earlier, is probably the #1 and most important piece of any marketing campaign. We can do the best marketing campaign, but if you don't track it, you don't know if it worked. So it's not uncommon that companies will track their marketing. We try to take a different approach. We try to be there as an extension of their marketing team. We just don't tell you, hey, you got 20 leads. We walk you through the process. We educate you to how to maximize your ROI, not just tell you how many leads you got. So we do a lot of training, converting callers to customers, converting customers to upsells. all the little things that make such a big difference is what our focus is behind the ROI Guy system.
Wow, that's wonderful. Now, can you give me a success story of one of your clients who you went to and they didn't know what they were doing, and after you straightened them out, it really affected their bottom line?
Yeah, and again, it would be hard to determine one specific case study because we have stories all over the country. But one that really comes to mind is a great friend of mine came to me and said, "Richard, I'm spending $10,000 to $20,000 to $30,000 a month in marketing. I can't keep doing that, but I'm scared I don't know what to eliminate." We came into his practice and we put our tracking system in place. Within 30 days, he decreased his marketing budget by 50%. He saved $15,000 a month just on eliminating the marketing campaigns that were driving $0. So not only did we save him $15,000 a month in marketing expenditures, we increased his ROI because we helped him convert more leads to customers. So, you know, that alone
It's worth a fortune.
It's priceless to him and his practice. And again, practices all over the country because we can give them the tools and the education to market smarter.
That's wonderful. Now, imagine there was a prospective client watching this. What advice would you give him with regard to the whole approach to costs of acquisition and measuring the efficacy of advertising dollars? What advice would you give?
You know, I look at marketing as a four-prong approach. You got to have the right market. You got to have the right media. You got to have the right message. And most importantly, you have to measure it. And for every business, they kind of get caught up in looking at what their neighbor's doing. They bought a full page ad, so they think they must be doing it. But you know what? That could be reaching the wrong market. It could be the wrong message in the wrong media to reach the target audience that you're trying to go after. So when we really educate our clients to work on those four things, and at the end of the day, they will have a greater return because it's more a targeted marketing approach.
That's wonderful. That's so important. It's one of the most important single things in business today is to know where your leads are coming from so you can increase your advertising in one area and decrease it in the others. So how do people get in touch with you if they want to get more information?
It's very simple. Again, I was known as the ROI Guy, so our website is yourroiguy.com. Again, that's yourroiguy.com.
That's terrific. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you.